Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are blending up a gorgeous oat and shea hand lotion. I designed this lotion to be deeply moisturizing with a really solid undercurrent of awesome, soothing ingredients that are wonderful for the skin. The oil phase is mostly a blend of lightweight apricot kernel oil and rich shea butter. Our water phase features some ingredients that are absolutely wonderful for the skin, including aloe vera, colloidal oatmeal, panthenol, also known as vitamin B5, and moisturizing vegetable glycerine. To learn more about all of these ingredients, make sure you look them up in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia at humblebeeandme.com. I've used glyceryl stearate SE as the emulsifier for this formulation, but you could very easily swap that for something else. So as always, if you are looking for substitutions, please make sure you're reading the blog post linked in the description box below. I always provide a list of substitution suggestions at the end of every blog post, and then there's always more information in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia, so please make sure you're checking out the website as well. It'll be linked in the description box below. But come on, let's get started. We'll begin by combining the ingredients for our heated oil phase in a small heat-resistant glass measuring cup. We'll need 4.5 grams glyceryl stearate SE, 4 grams apricot kernel oil, 3 grams cetyl alcohol, 2 grams dimethicone 350, and 5 grams refined shea butter or unrefined shea butter. You can use whatever you've got. For a heated water phase, we'll begin by putting 15 grams of vegetable glycerin in a small heat-resistant glass measuring cup. To that we'll add half a gram hydroxyethylcellulose, and for substitutions, please read the blog, 2 grams colloidal oatmeal, and 1 gram powdered panthenol. And we'll give that a very thorough stirring to get everything nice and distributed before we add the rest of the ingredients for the heated water phase. Once that's thoroughly distributed, we're going to add 31.4 grams distilled water, 30 grams aloe vera juice, and 0.2 grams citric acid, and make sure you're weighing this quite precisely as it's very potent. Before we start heating anything, we're going to weigh the water phase and note that weight so we can replace any water lost to evaporation during the heating phase. To heat everything through, we're going to use a water bath. So this is a wide, flat-bottom sauté pan that has about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in the bottom of it. And I'm going to go put this on my stovetop over medium heat for about half an hour to melt everything through and bring everything to the same temperature. Once everything is heated through and melted, you can remove your water bath from the heat and then remove your phases from the water bath. Before we proceed, just dry off the water phase here, pop it on the scale, and use some preheated distilled water to top it back up to the weight we wrote down earlier. We're going to grab our immersion blender to blend this together. So you want to start with a few short bursts before working up to a full blend to avoid spraying lotion everywhere. Okay, so that was about 5 minutes of blending. I'm going to leave this to cool for 5 minutes and then come back and blend it some more. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. This is gaining some lovely viscosity, and we will give this another good thorough blending. All right, so that was another 3 minutes of blending. I'm going to let this cool for another 5 and come back and blend it some more. All right, it's been another 5 minutes. I'll give this another blending, but we are getting close to the final viscosity of this lotion. All right, so I think that is enough blending. This is definitely getting cooler. Still a little bit warm for adding the cool down phase, but I'm going to just leave this to finish cooling now and put our immersion blender in the dishes bin. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes and the lotion is nice and cool, so we can incorporate our cool down phase, and then after that we're going to be testing the pH of the lotion, as the preservative we're using today, Optiphen Plus, needs a pH of 6 or lower in order to work. So there are just 2 ingredients in our cool down phase. We need 0.4 grams of allantoin and 1 gram Optiphen Plus. In order to incorporate the cool down phase, I'm going to add a small amount of lotion to this dish. We'll use a little whisk to thoroughly combine, and once that has been thoroughly combined, we will add it back to the parent batch and stir everything together. To test the pH, we'll be using a pH meter. The pH meter I have is made by Apera, and it's the pH 60 model. So I'm going to begin by taking the meter out of its storage solution and rinsing it off with some distilled water. Set that aside for a moment. And we are going to be preparing a 10% dilution of the lotion. So I'm going to put 2 grams of lotion in this little dish, add 18 grams of distilled water, and then whisk to combine. test the pH. I'm gonna turn the meter on, tip the dish a bit so we have a nice deep portion there, and then pop the pH meter in and wait to get the little happy face. That means it's got a proper pH reading. All right, we got the happy face at 5.06, so that is below 6, obviously, but is not too acidic that it's problematic. It's actually a great place for a lotion to be. So I've rinsed that off, popping it back in the storage solution and turning it off. And that's great. We don't need to adjust the pH of the lotion, which is done by design. The inclusion of the citric acid in the heated water phase is why that all works out so nicely. Our last step is packaging. So I'm going to be putting this lotion in a pump top bottle. It is thin enough. You can see that it'll cooperate nicely with a pump top bottle. It's not just gonna get stuck in there. And it's also thin enough that I wouldn't put it in a jar or a tub, because you'll have some slopping issues. So this is a 120 milliliter or 4 ounce sort of slightly squeezed bottle, though it doesn't need to be a squeeze bottle, and it has the pump top. I just have a ton of these bottles and then a selection of different caps for them. Just pop our funnel in there and pour away. And for a use demo, so once you've unscrewed the pump top, I find that it's a combination of screwing it in the direction that the arrow indicates, but you'll also kind of need to pull up on it a bit. We can start to dispense some lotion. So you can see it comes out of the pump top really, really easily, smooths across the skin really, really quickly. It's not so much like a spreading like we would with like butter or something. It just really smooths around easily, sinks in quickly, leaves the skin feeling really hydrated and soft and gorgeous and lovely. Non-greasy, just delightful. And there you go. You just made a lovely oatmeal Shea hand lotion. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and please make sure you are reading the full blog post, which is linked in the description box below. There's a ton of great information down there, information on substitutions, scaling, shelf life, where to buy ingredients, and a whole lot more. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.